And what she wants to talk about today is not only does food heal you emotionally, physically, but it also works spiritually to help you along your path. And this is the first time Judy has given a talk here, so I want you all to be very supportive.
Yes.
No talking through it and shutting off all of those tones that you might have hidden in your back pocket, okay? So please welcome Judy Hackett.
Yay!
Thank you. Good morning.
Morning.
Let's do the line. Judy Hackett, and I'm a master in training. I have to
Okay? Okay, here we go.
that should morning.
I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited because I have a passion for this topic. But thank you all for letting me speak, because this is something that's very important to me. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to succeed. Because like all of you, I'm a work in progress. And I am a work in progress, and I grow and I learn every day, as I'm sure all of us do. It's part of our process here. And I am most grateful to be here and talking to you. And I want to tell you a little bit about how I got to where I am. Several years ago, well, through my whole life, I've always been a hard worker. Several years ago, I owned a restaurant, and I worked anywhere from 8 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, sometimes 8 days a week. I was always tired. I was always cranky, but I always loved what I did. I loved making food for people. I loved seeing the smiles on their faces. I can't tell you how many wedding proposals I got. Because I could cook. And I was already married at the time, so they were all just a joke and filled with love. But in doing that, in being that person, a lot of things happened to my body. For one thing, it blew up to 237 pounds. I had high blood pressure. I had issues, period, amen. My body had issues. And one day, I got what I call religion, and I started to do something about it. And through that process, which is not important for us to know at the time, but through that process, I became a student of a school for Transformational Nutrition Coaching, which is a very big word for saying I help people learn about nutrition and how it can benefit their life. But while I was in this course, there was one little module on mindful eating. And I thought, what the heck is that? And then I thought, well, what the heck is that? And I decided to not poo-poo it out of hand because it seemed a little strange, but I embraced it. And I took it and I made it my own for the week of time that we were studying that module. And what I learned was that it makes a huge difference. When you prepare food with intention and love, it tastes different than if you hurry through and slap it together.
Yeah.
I used to get so frustrated in my restaurant because people would say to me, Judy, I always love when you make the food for me. It tastes so much better. And that's lovely to hear. But I have a crew who's following the same exact recipes I am, using the same exact ingredients, but they're not getting the same result. So I thought, okay. That's just one more thing to think about. And so as I went through, I learned all this, but in this week-long course, I followed the procedures. I prepared my food with intention. I gave thanks and gratitude for the food that I ate. And when I ate the food, I did it in a very mindful way. I stopped. I took a breath. I chewed. And I thought about what was going on in my mouth and what was going on in my body with all the nutrition I was bringing forth. And I felt better. I felt lighter in my spirit, in my body, and in the way I was in the world. It made a difference. And I thought, wow, this is huge. Because we go through life And here's where I'm going to get into what I wrote. In this world we live in today, we are loaded with stress. From the time we wake up in the morning, we are being bombarded by demands, by people wanting this. They're pulling us in every direction. There's no time left in the day. We need 26 hours in a day, not 24. And we do not have time for ourselves to think, to live, and to be in a very peaceful way. We are just pulled in every direction. So my challenge to everybody and my encouragement for everybody is to take 20 minutes. You really want 30, let's start with 20. And stop and fix a place where you will sit and enjoy a meal with a friend, alone, however it works out for you. And stop and enjoy what you're eating. Make it quality, make it real, and enjoy the food that Mother Earth gave us. Chew it, taste it, savor it, and let it nurture you. And this is the gift that Mother Earth gave us. This is what this is one of the reasons that we're here, is to see what Mother Nature has to give us, and has to give us to nurture us, and not just blow it out the door and throw down the most unhealthy food that you can think of. You're empty when you do that. You can eat and eat and eat something that is what I would call, I used to lovingly call this crap food, C-R-A-P. And I would have, in the olden days, I would have crap food day, where I would eat anything bad I wanted to eat. And I have to tell you, I felt like shit at the end of every one of them. I did. I felt horrible. Because the end result was I wasn't doing anything to nurture me. And I needed to do that. So in this process, and what we're doing, when your body is in stress, and a bunch of you will be able to relate to this, your digestive system shuts down. It literally shuts down. Your body goes in flight or fight so that you can run away from the big dinosaur that's coming to eat you. That's why we have fight or flight. And way back a few millennia ago, and maybe even just a few hundred years ago, that was the only time our bodies really used this function. But now, today, with all of the demands put upon us, we are constantly, our bodies are constantly and chronically in fight or flight mode. This means our digestive systems aren't working very well, if at all. We have heartburn, we have stomach trouble, we have ulcers, we have all kinds of maladies. And for some of us, if we just slow down, take that deep breath, because when you take 2 or 3 deep breaths, your body releases the stress, and your digestive system will again cooperate, and you will be able to digest your food. How many of you can relate to gaining weight because you're under stress and you think you're a stress eater?
Oh, I know I'm a stress eater.
Okay, you're a stress eater.
I'm like a little rat.
But the fact, and I have to admit that I can be. I'm trying so hard not to be, but I can be. But if you can manage your stress, then we're never going to be without stress. But we can learn to manage our stress. We can learn those deep breath practices that take us out of that mold for just a few minutes. And we can release it and let our bodies just breathe for just a moment in time. And food helps us do this. It can help us do this. We have the capacity to make good decisions about what we put into our bodies. I think we all want to make good decisions about what we put into our bodies. But a lot of times we don't even know what's healthy and what's not healthy. We've been fed so much misinformation and disinformation from the food industry and from the chemical and pharmaceutical industries for the last 50, 60 years, that what we think we're doing to be so healthy is actually working against us. How many of you think butter is bad? No, it's not. Butter is good.
Butter is good.
Butter is good. Grass-fed, quality grass-fed butter is beneficial. Not only just tasty, beneficial. Your brains are 60% fat. Do you think eating a no-fat, low-fat diet is going to feed your brain? No. No. So I don't want to get off on a nutrition tangent. I really want to keep this to the spiritual realm. But when we can take the time to take a breath and to come together, we will be able to create another spiritual practice for ourselves. I think so many times we are so busy on the ethereal that we sometimes neglect the physical. And this is a time that you can take this practice, which is so simple. You take this practice and you bring it to the physical, and you improve your physical lot, and you feel better. You actually feel lighter. Your brain is lighter. Your mood is lighter. It is absolutely amazing to me the influence that food has on our bodies. What I've learned over the years, and there have been about 12 or 13 of them now that I've been studying this and trying to practice this. I am a long, slow work in progress. It has taken me years and years and years. And I've done some serious damage to my body over the years, and I'm now going to get to reap the benefits of, or the not benefits of. But knowing what I know now, I can handle it, and I can make it work for me. But if you sit down to that meal, I'm just going to give you a little piece of what it's like. You've prepared a meal and you've been grateful. How many people have stopped saying grace over the years? Okay, good for you. But I remember as a little kid, we would sit down at the table. I was raised a Catholic. And we'd sit down at the table and everybody was too embarrassed to say a real heartfelt grace. So it was, a brother would say through the lips and over the gums. And every once in a while we got a bless me, not a bless me, Father. What's the grace that we said as Catholics? I can't even remember right now. It's been so long. But we would say that grace. But if you stop and you really say grace and you breathe for a moment, you set the mood, you set the tone. And then you're going to sit down and there's your meal in front of you, and it's beautiful, and it's green, and it's red, and there's some protein on there, and there's some butter on there, and there's a good, wholesome, happy meal in front of you. And I don't mean a McDonald's happy meal. And you take the time to first taste it with your eyes, and then take a deep breath and smell this food, and then slowly eat it and savor it and enjoy it. That's the practice. It's so simple. Unfortunately, it's not always easy. Someday I'm going to write a book, and if the title is going to be, it's simple, it's just not easy. Yes, sir.
I grew up Buddhist, and we bless our food, everything on the plate before we eat it.
Yes.
And it's like, so what you're saying, that's like what I do.
Yeah.
So it's like,
There you go.
yeah, but
You got it.
It's but
You're
it's a
you're
lot
halfway
easier.
there.
It's a lot easier too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I agree with you. You feel a lot lighter and more full when you do that.
Well,
In a lot of
for
different
those
ways.
of you that are trying to behave, and I'm not going to say lose weight, I'm going to say get healthy. For those of you trying to get healthy, you eat far less when you practice this. It's part of a healthy nutritional program. Your body takes 20 minutes to decide it's full. Now, you can take 20 minutes and slowly enjoy a meal, or you can take 20 minutes like my sailor darling ex-husband used to do, and you can shovel food for 20 minutes. And at the end of 20 minutes, you sit back and you go, oh my God, I'm stuffed. Or you can sit back and say, I am so satisfied, I really don't need it anymore. And that Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
My problem is that the people that I eat with, it's no longer this meal. It's everybody wants to rush through it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I grew up kind of in a
I
family.
think we need to take back grace. I think we need to take back grace. I think we need to encourage everybody to stop and be grateful for a moment. And then you lead the way. Slow down. Have a pleasant conversation. Leave politics and religion off the table. Talk about the weather. Talk about the beautiful singer you saw last week. Talk about the flowers growing in the field. But leave the nasty stuff behind. And yes, ma'am.
I was just going to offer that one of the things that I do, particularly if I'm in an environment where it might not be comfortable for me to verbally say grace, I'll just do a circle and the sign of the cross.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the circle, the sign of the cross, and it kind of like, it just acknowledges we are a part of the big circle, and the sign of the cross is honoring
I
the
will
full direction.
oftentimes just lay my hands on the table
There you
for
go.
the same reasons.
Perfect.
And I will lay my hands on the sides of the plate, and I will mentally say grace and say thank you to the universe and to Mother Earth for the meal I'm about to eat. And then I go about eating that meal very slowly and chewing. How many of you forget to chew? Chew! If you don't chew your food, you can't digest your food. Yes, ma'am.
I did not grow up saying grace because I do not come from a Catholic family. There are prayers, in the Jewish family, but not necessarily for a meal, except if you're blessing the bread, which does happen with certain holidays. But what I do is I do put my hands over my food. I thank the food for nourishing my body before I eat it. I thank it for going to the right places, doing the right things, and everything it's supposed to do. And so I don't necessarily say grace per se, but I definitely bless the food and maybe Reiki it a little bit even to give it the energy so that it feeds me that same energy.
It's perfect. And every body in this room has a different reaction to the food that they eat. So don't let anybody, not even me, tell you, you must do this, you must do that, you must do this to be healthy. Because you have to learn to listen to your own bodies. And your body will tell you what you need and what you don't need when you stop and really listen. There are so many tools at your disposal. And my suggestion is to take in the information, digest it, see if it works for you, if it resonates with you, and maybe practice it a little bit. Yes, sir.
Maybe it will help if you video yourself when you're eating, so you see when you play, you see how you eat.
Yeah.
If you're doing a good posture,
Yeah. Any gentleman or even woman these days who has ever been in the military knows that you eat a meal in 5 minutes or you don't get a meal. And that kind of follows a lot of people through their life. And it does serious harm. So it's time to take back and to reintroduce ourselves to the slow method, to quality food. Yes?
When I was in the Air Force, I did a lot of traveling, and I had to eat in restaurants a lot. What I discovered was to scan the menu. Scan it again, and scan it the third time my eyes would stop on something, that's what I'd order. That's what my body needed at that time. And I stayed healthy on the trips. I
Excellent.
still do that.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I've never heard that, but I like that.
Your body will tell you.
Yeah, your body tells you.
Your eyes will automatically stop.
And you have to get to a point when you tell your addictions to step aside
Yes.
and let my body talk to me.
There's
The
also-
one thing I will say as an absolute, nobody needs sugar.
No.
If you do anything for yourself, lessen the load of sugar on your body. Because unbeknownst to all of us over all these years, it's not the fat that's making you sick. It's not the fat that's giving you heart disease or diabetes or anything else. It's the sugar.
And there's so many hidden sugars. in
So
food.
many hidden sugars.
Mhm.
There's a list of over 50 hidden sugars on the ingredients. So learn to read your ingredients. Learn to give yourself the freedom to take the time to enjoy your meal in a very mindful way. And you, yes, sir.
I'd like to add something to that, because I also used to manage a restaurant.
Mhm.
One of the things that you can do, I eat out a lot, and one of the things you can do is you can ask your server, you can ask the manager of the restaurant, etc. What is in this? What do you consider
Absolutely.
healthy? What do you eat when you're here? You know,
Do you eat
the
this
people
food?
who work
Yeah.
there, who cook the food, are the ones who really know what's in it. And they are usually very helpful about, oh yeah, this is great for you, this one we put a little too much, salt in, but this one's clean, and et cetera,
Yeah.
et cetera. And you can get a lot of help just from the people who work in the places.
Great idea.
Mhm.
True.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I want to thank you all for letting me speak. I think I said it all. It's simple. Yes, sir.
You use the word try an awful lot.
Yes.
The word try has an implication of failure.
Yes.
You either do it or you don't.
Right.
Are you going to try to pick up the glass, or are you going to pick it up or leave it set?
I won't pick it
Don't
up.
use the word try.
I will
Well,
eliminate it from my vocabulary.
I think attempt though is valid, because if we never make an attempt unless we know for a fact we can do it, we're probably never gonna do anything.
Right.
Yeah,
Enjoy the learning curve.
enjoy the learning curve and enjoy the process.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the process. It's, yes, ma'am.
Could you speak about your
My
your
class.
upcoming
Okay.
workshop?
Lynn Roos and I will be teaching a class starting next week. It was going to start yesterday, but through a few things that happened while we were preparing, we decided that we would put it off a week. So next week this class will start, and it is a class on helping you to find the strength and build the skills that you need to live a healthy, healthful life. And our focus will not be on what you eat, it will be about how you eat. And we will give you the information on why stress is so bad for your body, on why you want to eliminate it, handle it, lessen it, and make it something that's incidental to your life. How to look for healthy food, how to read labels, why to read labels, why you want to eliminate sugar from your existence, most sugar, let's say refined sugar, and how to think about yourself and learn some self-love, because without self-love and self-appreciation, it's very difficult to do the right thing all the time. Because you might think that, oh, I've done this for so long, I don't think I want to do this anymore, and I'm just going to go back to the old ways. Well, that's a person who doesn't think a great deal of themselves. So we want to give you some tools that help you think more of yourself. We want to give you some information that will help you make good decisions. And mostly, we want to share what we know about how this practice works. Because like I said before, it is simple. It's just not always easy. Thank you.
Thank you.